Funny Little Arts, and welcome back to Building Art Skills Episode 2. Today we will be learning about basic anatomy. I know it sounds weird, but it's an art thing. It's not weird. It's not. This series is where I learn and I take you along with me. So basically we're learning together, and it's going to be very nice. If you haven't seen the first episode, I recommend going back to watch it. And then before we get into it, I am not a professional. I am learning with you. Thank you. Here we go. Okay, first up we got our basic anatomy shapes. Yay. I know it sounds weird, but trust me, it's okay. It's okay. First up, we got our head. You know, this is just going to be the basic shape, so it's not going to be a very detailed version of the head, but I'll get to that later. So we draw our circle, then we draw a sort of mask thing to figure out the angle and perspective that you want the face to be facing. Then for the neck, just like a rectangle cylinder thing. There we go, pretty easy. There's our head. Next up, we got the torso. Another rectangular thingy. Draw across in the middle to see the perspective, the angle, way you want it to be facing. Then the crotch, or like the underwear part. I know it's weird saying that, but that's how we do it. The art community, apparently. And then these little lines over here are like sockets for where the legs are going to be. So make sure you have those there. And then you're also going to want to do a little cross too. Whatever perspective you want, or whatever angle you want, you have to have those references there. And then just little curved lines to make the waist. And there is our torso. Then we got the arms. It's basically just two cylinders connected. And the first cylinder is going to be wider, and then the second one is going to be a little smaller and pinched in at the end. There's our arm, and the arm connects to the torso, like at this part right there. So it would be right here. Draw your cylinder or your square, whatever. Then draw another pinched in one, and you got your arm. Next up, we got the legs. Yes, the legs. They do seem very difficult to do, but draw your crotch thing. Then you got the little circle there for the legs. Then we got a curved line out here, straighter line back here, curved line out here for the calf, straighter line. And you've got like a thing for your knee. And there you go. There is your leg. Then for the foot, I usually just like to draw a triangle. I don't know, it looks right. But sometimes I will draw like a rectangle and like another rectangle, because sometimes the curvature of the foot is like really extreme. So yes, I will do that. There is your foot and your leg. There we go. Then we got the hand. I'm not very good at doing this, but kind of draw like a rectangular shape. I don't know. Yeah. And then you gotta draw lines for your fingers. And I watched a few that says you connect some of like the three of your fingers to make it easier, and you're gonna want to make the fingers go in a curved line that peaks like right here. So After that, you're gonna also want to draw your fingers like around, ooh, that's bad, around these lines. I don't know. Oh, that was bad. Oh my. Yeah. Maybe don't take advice from the hands on me. Hey, wait, what? That looks good. Yay, okay. And then you got your arm connected to your hand. And there we go. There's your hand. There are the basic shapes. And then if we want to put them all together, sorry about that. Let's put them all together. I think we're gonna start with the torso. Make this lovely little shape. Do the crotch. Oh, don't forget about the perspective. Do the crotch. We love this so much. Then we got the middle, the little waist thing. Oof, looks a little odd. Make sure it's more centered. I'm trying to just draw it straight on. I can't even do that. Okay, there we go. Then we got our face. We're gonna make him looking this way. We got the neck. Oh, see, you already see how it's turning into a person. Then we got the spheres or rectangles. I usually just draw rectangles. There we go. And then we got the legs. I'm gonna make them with 2 lines. The kneecap, 2 lines. Then our little feet. Oh, can't forget the hands. I'll just draw circles for the hands right now. But there is our person. Don't we love this person? There you go. Okay, that was the basic body shapes. Now, another way to practice your anatomy is poses and tracing over some Pinterest references and trying to draw it based off of what you traced off of the references. So in the background, here is some examples that I did, and I invite you to join along and do it with me. That is it for our poses with reference, and now we get to the faces. Oof, what we all came here for, the faces. Okay, let's get into it. First, we're gonna draw a circle as best as you can. I'm not very good at drawing circles. I should practice lines more. That's why you should check out my other video. And then we draw these little midpoints in the circle. Then we make each point, each line, divide it into 3 parts. This is very important. You really want to do this. Oh, that was not right. Okay, there we go. And about 2/3 of the way, we're gonna make another circle. There we go. That is the side of our face. We're gonna make these reference lines. See how evenly spaced out they are? See how evenly spaced out they are? We're gonna make another one for our chin line. And just draw a line down here for the chin. And here, right here, we're gonna wanna make our ear. It's gonna look weird. It looks very weird right now, but trust me, that's where we make our ear. Then connect the end of the chin to the bottom of the ear. Do kinda that. There we go. Would you look at that? Now, right at the bottom of this line, you're gonna wanna make your nose. So, right about here, I'm gonna just draw our nose, you know? Stops right about here. You see the lines that we're using? Then, kind of want to make your brow line. And then, the hairline starts at this line. How convenient. You see? The eye, you want to make it down a little bit more. And then the lips are gonna go like halfway this line right here. The lips, I don't really know how to draw lips, so there we go. That's our best for now. And do you see that face? Do you see that face? Oh, sorry. You see that face right there? There we go. Now, facing the front. Making our circle again. Oh, I'm gonna make it bigger because everyone loves to do things microscopically. But making this one bigger. Then, we're gonna make those same midpoints. Then make the 3/4. Oh my gosh, split it into 3s. Sorry, my brain is malfunctioning. Split each line into 3 parts. That's more like half, but 3 parts. Then at this 3rd part, you're gonna want to cut off your circle. Because the sides of our heads aren't even, it's not a circle. The side of our head is more flat. So that's to erase this part, make it more flat. And that's what this part is right here. That's the flat part. So now we got that. We're gonna make this pot. Oh, sorry. We already did that. We already did that right here. So now we gotta draw those reference lines again. You see at the top of this part, that is where our first line is. This is where our second line is, right in the middle. Then the bottom, that's where our third line is. See how they're evenly spaced out? Make another one that's evenly spaced out. That is the bottom. That is where our chin is. So you remember how here, this is where, oh my gosh, I changed the color back. This is where our ear was at the bottom half of this. So at the bottom half of this is where our ear is. So we gotta make our ears like that. Then we're gonna take the bottom of our ear, connect it to the jaw. Oof, that's a big jawline. There we go. Then, you remember the bottom of this? That's the nose. You remember how the midpoint was the top of the nose? Well, our eyes are only going to be a little bit underneath that. And an eye, the spacing between 2 of your eyes is the same amount of space that it would take to draw one of the eyes. So if your eye is this big, space should be that big. The eyes should be the same size. Try to make it like on the same line. I'm not doing a very good job right now, but you should do better. Then the brows, right about that same line. Oh, forgot about the cheekbones. The cheekbones, the bottom of the ear to the jaw. Bottom of the ear to the jaw. Then we got the mouth, which is kind of in between here, as you remember. So there we go. Our hairline from the ear to this other line that we drew. And there we go. That is our other face. I'm gonna make it a little less scary, but there is our other face. And that is how you draw faces. This is just a very short tutorial on the faces. You should definitely look up some more tutorials on faces, especially for perspective, because I don't really know how to do perspective yet. That's going to be the next video. And there we go. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you liked this video, so subscribe for the next episode of Building Art Skills with me. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.